Hey, Vikings fans, welcome to Vikings.com. Your announcer, Paul Allen. Happy to be joined by Minnesota Vikings General Manager Rick Spielman. The 2020 virtual draft has come to a conclusion. And Mr. Spielman, I would imagine the next thing for you is going to be deep sleep. Is that true?
After I give all the thank you out to our IT department and the way this whole operation went this weekend, and on a serious note, without Cheryl Nygaard, Paul Nelson, Luke Burson, all them guys, and the phenomenal job they did, where we had not one mishap, whether it was the trades, whether it was college free agency, how we communicated with each other in the draft, it was just off the chart. So kudos go out to them for us being able to function like we were this weekend.
Now, Rick, for the team, no rookie camp, so what's next? Veterans, rookies, what's next for the team?
Yeah, we have a meeting tomorrow just to make sure all the coaches are ready to go on a virtual classwork, which will start our virtual off season on Monday. Again, the IT department has everything set up in the coaches' houses, everything downloaded to the players' iPads. So they'll actually be able to conduct meetings and watch film, which has been, we're going to have another test run at it tomorrow, but everything that's shown so far, we're going to be able to function as normally as we possibly can. So I know the coaches are excited to start talking with the players and to get into the playbook now that this draft is over. And then once the rookies are able to join, I believe here May 11th or sometime in that area, then they'll get going as well.
Rick, I know drafting players with good football IQ is what you aim to do with every single pick you make. You know, like B.C. Johnson in the 7th round last year, very sharp guy. But in a shortened off season where you really don't know truly how much time you will have up to the regular season, like on the field and with playbook study and stuff, the IQ facet of the players you took, did it need to be even a little higher?
We were really, it's a combination of everything, and how we've kept evolving. The coaches had a lot more time to sit there and really hone in on the Saturday picks, college free agency, work directly with the scouts when we break them up into teams. And I can't say enough about Scott Kuhn and our analytics department and how big a factor they play into it, especially into the later rounds when we get into it. Not only are they factoring in, the physical traits and things that we have laid out that are going to fit our scheme, but they layer in all the psychological profiling, all the intelligence profiling. So our goal was to get as many good players as we could, but all of them as many clean players as we could that not only fit from a football trait standpoint, but from a character and from an intelligence standpoint, because that's going to be very important. And the other thing, I believe, heading into this draft and strategically thinking is when you're able to accumulate that many picks, especially through the 6th and 7th rounds, instead of, in the circumstances we're working in right now, instead of actually going and trying to make calls and trying to sign college free agents after the draft, we're able to just draft those guys. And so you don't have to sit there and compete. And without having them coming in and actually doing a top 30 visit and the things that we normally do. So I think from us in our strategic planning was to have as many draft picks as you can in those later rounds. Don't worry about signing them as college free agents. Go get the guys that we think are either late round guys or priority free agents we want to sign after the draft. So that was a big part of the process. But I know when we went into college free agency, the systems that were set in place, we had our draft room, and then we had a chat room for each position. So a scout and a coach were in their individual chat rooms. So there was a linebacker chat room, an offensive line chat room, all the way down the line. So we were able to jump in, they're negotiating, getting these guys done. We were able to jump into those chat rooms and jump back into the main meeting room, just like we normally would if we were in the building.
Now, with the players you selected day 3, give me your quick fire opinion on each of them. I'll begin with the first pick of the day, DJ Wanham, defensive end, South Carolina.
An Andre Pedersen pet cat. Great length, great athletic ability, a little raw, really can rush, thinks he's going to be an excellent pass rusher.
Defensive lineman James Lynch from Baylor.
Bowling ball butcher knives. Excellent player.
The finale in the 4th round for you, Oregon linebacker Troy Dye.
Tall, linear, speed athlete.
5th round from Temple, cornerback Harrison Hand.
Ability to play both corner and nick.
KJ Osborne started at Buffalo, played a few years there, ended up for Miami, wide receiver and a returner, which is interesting.
Very mature, very smart, has an opportunity to come in and compete for our starting punt return job.
An offensive lineman, a tackle for Oregon State. In the 6th round, Blake Brendel.
Tough, smart, physical, can play either tackle or guard.
Also in round number 6, safety, first safety you took in the draft. This one's from Michigan, Josh Metellus.
Interchangeable from free safety to strong safety, football player.
So now with like a safety pick like this with Anthony Harris and Harrison Smith, I mean, you're kind of thinking special teams and somebody who can compete, right?
That's what Anthony Harris did when he first got here. He came in, started out on practice squad, got elevated because he was such a great special team player, evolved into a pretty good safety.
The 7th rounder, the first of 4 here, Rick, Kenny Willekes, a defensive end from Michigan State.
Excellent football player, goes 1,000 miles an hour. Very, very similar traits to Lynch in the style of football that he plays. Loves the game and can rush the passer.
Iowa quarterback Nate Stanley, he played in some big games, didn't he?
Yeah, won a lot of games in the Big Ten. Strong arm. I think people underestimate his athletic ability. Great fit for this system. A Kubiak favorite.
Brian Cole, Mississippi State, another safety.
Another interchangeable guy that has length and athleticism, similar to what we saw we had in Jalen Hurts.
And lastly, Kyle Hinton, a guard from Washburn.
Played tackle in a small school, 6'2", 300-pounder, ran 4.85 at his pro day. Very athletic, can play center or guard. Great developmental prospect.
So now I would imagine you just wait until respectfully and responsibly everybody's able to gather, get them out of TCO Performance Center, see what the rookies look like, and assemble it and start whenever we start.
We have a lot of great talent, a great number of them as well, that are all good football players, and it's going to be a very competitive roster. You've seen a lot of us lean towards the defensive side of the ball, especially on Saturday. Just because of the amount of players that we lost on that side of the ball. But feel these guys have a lot of potential, and I know our coaches are very excited to work with them.
Great job as usual. Get some rest, and we'll talk soon.